What a match in the Premier League today between Everton and Manchester United. The home side, Everton, jumping out to a 2-0 lead, feeling real good at halftime at Goodison Park. But Manchester United, they battled back in the second half with 2 goals in a span of 8 minutes to equalize and rescue a point. Oh boy, welcome into our studios, everybody. Nigel Rio-Coker, Michael Lahoud. I'm Allie Trost-Martin. And guys, at the end of the day, both teams split the points, but the big story coming out of this one is what happened in stoppage time. So let's take a look at this tweet here, because in stoppage time of this game, Harry Maguire fouls Ashley Young in the box, and the referee calls a penalty. But then VAR checked the referee's call, and it was overturned. So this was really a game-changing moment where Everton could have rescued the win on their home turf after dropping the lead after the halftime. Mike, what did you think?
I thought they were clearly robbed. And Nige, you and I were looking at it, and you actually pointed it out initially when we were watching the match. This is my issue with VAR. And when you look at big moments like this, you have a chance to go to the monitor. I don't know if this referee didn't have 2020 vision, 2015 vision. Maybe my vision scale needs to go the other way. But it is a clear penalty. You didn't even need to go to VAR. Everyone in the grounds could have seen it from a mile away. And Manchester United got away with a massive, massive incident.
Okay, so that's what Michael Lahoud thinks. What does our rules analyst, Christina Unkel, think as we welcome her in? Christina, another weekend, another controversial call. What say you?
I never have a time off, do I?
No.
Right? So
I can't even enjoy your kid's soccer match.
So, when you look at it, right, the referee's call on the field is a penalty decision. VAR takes a look at it and recommends an overturn of the penalty decision. Now, the chief refereeing officer, Howard Webb for PGMOL, has used this time after time, saying, let the referee's call stand unless it's very clear and obvious. We've seen the reverse camera angle behind the goal and essentially through the goal that shows the first significant shirt pull, and it's a clear shirt pull. So from a VAR perspective, we don't want to re-referee these situations. These should be remained as it's not a clear and obvious error. It should remain, the referee's decision should have remained as a penalty. So from improper use of VAR, yes, this would be chalked up as to a mistake to recommend it. Now there's the second part. Referee goes to the monitor, reviews it, and then comes out with no penalty on it. People are claiming he did not see the reverse camera angle, but when you take a look at the monitor where he was doing, he did see at the last segment was that reverse camera angle. When I first initially looked at this, many of the angles I saw were angles that were not the reverse camera angle, and I said, that's a little soft. I don't think I like that as a penalty either. I would recommend it, until I saw that reverse camera angle through the goal that shows that clear shirt pull, and because of that, it should have been a check complete, left alone, and the penalty should have stood.
Christina, from our perspective, can you put yourself in the VAR referee's shoes? Why did they feel the necessary need to send the referee to the monitor to review that whole incident? Because for me, it was a clear-cut penalty. And again, when they did show the replays to the referee, why did they not show the reverse angle where you can see that Ashley Young was being impeded?
So I really do believe that they were focused on the other angles that don't help, that do basically tell you, hey, it's not a penalty. The last angle I saw on the monitor, because I went in and took a look too, and I said, did he not get shown that reverse camera angle? And you see in the monitor, right before he departs the monitor, that he was shown that reverse camera angle, but I might have made his mind up through the other angles. Angles are deceptive. That is one of probably the biggest things from a referee perspective, right? We're always fighting for the best angle. We're always trying to put ourselves in the best angle, because you can miss a call by the mere inch of 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right. Here, and this is what we say is unforgivable, because the VAR has that time, the ability, right, not necessarily a rush, there's not a time limit on how long a VAR check, should have led with that reverse camera angle. And actually, if he would have shown the reverse angle first, pretty confident the referee would have stayed with his decision because of the shirt pull, probably because he was persuaded that they think was a clear and obvious error. Can start messing with someone's psychology, but that's also the difference of having a strong referee in the center. He said, I made this decision. I saw a shirt pull. I felt like it was a significant shirt pull. They're not showing me anything different than what I saw, so therefore I'm going to stick to my original decision.
Christina, excellent stuff. We'll let you get back to some more footy.
Sounds good. Enjoyed. Thank you all.
Thanks so much.
Let's go. I'll be ready then.
All right, boys, your reaction to what Christina had to say. Mike?
Oh, I'm with her, and I had my rant before I even went on. I couldn't hold it in that much. Look, this was papering over the cracks of what was a dismal performance for Manchester United up until about the 72nd minute. But when you go to VAR, what I took from Christina is yet again another egregious, horrendous refereeing decision. We're talking about camera angles, and the referee does see the right camera angle, and we saw that behind the goal camera angle, and it was clear as day to us that that is a penalty. We go through VAR, and clear and obvious, okay, that's one phase of it. We go through the next phase of technicality by the letter of the law. I don't care if it's VAR or no VAR. If you pull someone's shirt in the box, which Harry Maguire did, that is a penalty every which day, every day in football.
Over refereeing, that's the frustration with football fans. That's the reality. The referee on the day made the right decision, and his decision was swayed by VAR. It's VAR having an overreach in the incident of that game there. And that's the frustrating part, because for me, the referee made the right call. It was a penalty. And then he was persuaded, or we'd say influenced, by VAR to overturn it. And again, the puzzling thing for me is what Christina said there. Why did they not show the other angle?
Right.
And when we watched the referee watching the VAR review, it was only one angle they were showing him. They didn't show the reverse angle, like Christina said, where we all saw it here watching it in the studio. It was a penalty. That there for me was a penalty for Everton. And for me, VAR intervened when they didn't need to.
Well, either way, Everton did let Man United back in this game with 2 goals in a span of just 8 minutes. A point is still a point. Everton have been in good form, especially under manager David Moyes in his second stint at Everton. Much better compared to what Ruben Amorim has done with Manchester United since his appointment back in November. And it was interesting because Amorim, Mike, was even asked ahead of this match why there hasn't seemingly been this managerial bounce for Manchester United as there's been for Everton. And he said, simply put, Moyes has done a better job. So where do you stand on the job that the two managers have done and why it's been such a success so far for Everton, or at least feels like that?
David Moyes and the job he's doing, he should be applauded, because this was an Everton side that when the season started, they didn't know which direction they were going in. And under Sean Dyche, it looked like it was going in a dismal direction. And what you get with Moyes, you know you're going to get character building performances. They're very direct in how they play. They do the old school things, play for second balls. And today there was a desire and a grit and a determination. They just wanted to beat the living you-know-what out of Manchester United and make a statement. Where it went wrong, you think of set piece plays that United usually give up. Credit to Manchester United for Bruno Fernandes, the only player that really stood up to make any account of himself. I think Bruno was the one difference in this being an absolute embarrassment to United sparing their blushes.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and lie and say I'm surprised at what David Moyes is doing, but I'll just be absolutely lying to you. I'm not surprised at the work he's done at Everton. I use the word familiarity, and that's what it is. He's been there before at the club. He's a good manager. He starts on the basis of being defensively solid. He's got Everton competing. I had Everton as my favourites to win this match today. I didn't think Manchester United really had a chance. It's hard to make an argument for Manchester United from what we've seen performance-wise to go and get a result against Everton at Goodison Park, a resurgent Everton side under David Moyes. The disappointing thing for Everton, like Michael touched on, will be the fact that they conceded 2 goals from set pieces. And that's not something that David Moyes will take lightly. But he's done a fantastic job. And for me, I feel that with Manchester United, I'm still waiting to see this system, footballing philosophy to really take shape, because you just really never know what you're going to get with Manchester United right now, and the performances just haven't been there for me.
Well, one thing we do know we're going to get from Manchester United, at least since the start of the new year, is goals late in a game. Since the start of January, Manchester United have the most goals in the 70th minute or later with 7. So, Mike, what has it been for Manchester United about some of these late game moments, and how do they put it together over a full 90? Because that has been missing.
Sometimes in world football, we see managers who are stubborn, who are wedded to their system. And this guy, Ruben Amorim, he's very stubborn at times. And I think the reason why we see these late goals is he lets the players just be. Players like Rafael Varane and Casemiro, when they first came to the club, their biggest criticism of Erik ten Hag and the club as a whole was just let your players be, let them express themselves. These are players that when they have the shackles taken off, when you see Manuel Ugarte getting in the final third and not just being a deep-lying defensive midfielder, then that desperation, it really creates a sense of freedom. But overall, this is not a good football side right now. They're very poor.
Mike, but you have to be also technically disciplined, because when it comes to playing in the Premier League, there's an element of discipline that you have to have. If you don't have that discipline, teams will punish you. And I feel with Manchester United, again, you talk about discipline plays a part in it, not just on the field, but also off the field in what we've seen. And people talk about the culture of the club. I think my biggest worry now is you look at Rasmus Højlund today, being taken off for a young player to come from the academy to play in the game like this. It's a bit of a worrying side. It's the mental side of it. How does Rasmus Højlund react to this situation? And there's so many players, since Amram has been there, that's had to deal with different issues with the manager in the sense of the mental side of the game. Xerxes had an incident when he was taken off. So now there's that mental element of it for all these Manchester United players, or some of them, I would say, who have to deal with a lot when it comes to the mental side of it to be strong to perform for the club.
Well, Everton will feel like it was 2 points dropped, even though they are now unbeaten in their last 6 games, while Manchester United going to feel like a point saved, especially with what transpired in stoppage time of that match.